What a day and what a week it has going to be in the stock market with Nvidia. Going to be announcing their earnings tomorrow. All eyes are on Nvidia. Will this move the market up? One thing that we know for sure, if this market does not have good reaction to the Nvidia news coming out, this could be a significant turn just because how much weight Nvidia stock is. Basically, they're one of the most valuable companies in the United States. And right now, Nvidia, all eyes is on Nvidia. What will come of what happened in China? Is there any type of news that will help Nvidia stock? Only one would know. But what we do know is that there's many other companies that are fighting to be in that AI space. There's a lot of money involved. One of the things that you can see is that when technology is new, some of the big players of today are not going to be the behemoths of tomorrow. Will Nvidia fall into that category, or will they lead the pack? As in Jensen Huang has a real tight lead on the advancements of the AI chips for Nvidia, and one would have to ask themselves is this is a good thing for the American country. One of the things that I've spoke about in a couple of videos before, that Donald Trump and this administration needs AI. One of the big ticket items that this administration has in their favor is crypto and AI. This is one of the things that's moving the company forward and moving this country forward. We are in a place where the petrodollar was in the 70s, and energy was the thing at one time. Infrastructure was the thing at one time in the United States led. But now what we're seeing is AI in the future. Many of the things that we saw as kids, as watching the cartoons such as the Jetsons, are really coming to life. You see many movies that we've watched a couple of years ago, from iRobot to many other these movies that were so futuristic 15, 20 years ago. A lot of it, we're seeing many of those same depictions that we saw in those movies. We're seeing it come into real life. And one would have to ask themselves, is this good for the country? I believe so. We are going to be moving in a place of faster and faster data. Bible talks about this stuff. You know, in the last days, there will be so much knowledge. There'll be a run on knowledge. And you have to look at how much these robots and these AI are really a superhuman computing. And basically, the scientists try to emulate the brain, and the human brain, and the computer is kind of one of those things that's one of the closest thing. As we look at what happens with Nvidia, we're going to see many things that may come to fruition. But I also want to take a look at a few charts, and I'm going to be sharing my screen with you guys here. All right, let's look at the S&P 500. We are looking here at the S&P 500, and today was a down day in the stock market. We see that the stock was down 49 points, but if you look at it in retrospect, this stock market needed a breather. We have been going so high over the last few weeks, 6 weeks of just going straight up. I would not be surprised that we needed this pullback. Will the S&P 500 come down to the 7,200 mark? That is yet to be seen. If the news on Nvidia is favorable, you're going to see the stock market possibly and potentially go past the 7,500 mark, on its way to 8,000. But if this news is not favorable for Nvidia, then you're going to see the S&P and a lot of the indices really have a lot of bear probably plays in their portfolio. And you could see that the stock market is so overbought. You look at the NASDAQ. This is a chart of the NASDAQ. And again, it's kind of similar patterns that we have seen here. We're looking similar patterns where the stock market has just gone up. And if you look at it from 2023, we have really just had a precipitous move up, other than these V curves. And this is kind of the retraction that we've had. We really have had no really deep pullback. Usually the pullbacks that we get in the stock market are generally 2 years, anywhere from 12 to 24 months. Most of the recoveries have been in a matter of weeks, which is ultra rare. So we're seeing a lot of things that we haven't seen before, and we need to be prepared. Like I mentioned before in a couple of videos again, I believe that we're emulating and we're following the same steps as the Roaring 20s. We also, at the end of the Roaring 20s, is when we had the Great Depression around 1929. We are emulating a lot of the same step, all-time highs, all this enthusiasm for the next thing. And that's what we're seeing right now in the stock market. We're seeing such an enthusiasm that people can't see that, hey, we're overbought. Hey, we're printing too much money. And that's the thing that has the United States on the fringe. Any little thing can teeter this stock market to the upside or the downside. And we're seeing that pressure right now as we still see the war with Ukraine, as we start seeing the war with Iran. This is not by accident. Everything that's happening in Venezuela, everything that's happening in Iran is not an accident. This is the United States exerting their authority over the world. They were not going to let BRICS just take over the energy. They were not going to let BRICS just demise the dollar. As long as OPEC continues to sell their oil in US dollars, right now the US will still be a superpower. But OPEC has the key ingredient into that, and it's selling their oil. To me, the Trump administration knows this, and that's why we're trying to be on top of the AI movement. Also, we're trying to be on top of crypto. And what we're seeing here is a power play by two big countries, China and the United States. Russia right now is severely beat up with all the war. Their economy is in shambles. And what they're doing right now is basically some of the weight that they had as far as energy and other countries needing their help is slowly and little has been diminished. And we're starting to see that the Dow Jones is actually took a little breather on its way to 50,000. But like we mentioned, look at this huge V in the Dow Jones. We've seen this before. This is a big V, but it has not passed the neckline like the S&P and the Nasdaq have done. So Dow Jones is still behind on the recovery phase, but what we see now that possibly this could be a turnaround. Apple, again, one of my favorite stocks, but also it's one of those that I want on a long-term portfolio. If you're looking to invest long-term, Apple should be one of those stocks in your portfolio. Tesla has gotten beat up. This stock to me is, if you're looking for the long-term investor, and that's who I'm talking to, if you are a long-term investor, this is a great stock for you. If you're long-term, you're gonna have to ride all those wild swings. As long as Elon's on as the CEO, this company still has value, and he is very much entrenched into seeing this car succeed. The self-driving portion of for Tesla is going to be a key thing. I have family members that are so they just are so psyched up because they're getting one of those self-driving cars. And Tesla has really made their cars very affordable. I mean, for one of the newer vehicles, like 45 grand compared to what you're paying for, like even for a Honda Accord, like a standard car, you're paying about the same sticker price. And you don't have the actually you're having to pay all the gas for it. So it's kind of one of those things that you look at Tesla. I'm still like my gas guzzler, but it's kind of becoming very appealing, especially with the gas prices the way they are. So we've seen Netflix. Netflix, I love this stock. Is one of those that I've talked about quite a few times, that I just think that this is one of those stocks that if you're looking long term, if this is something that you're saying to yourself, I love this stock, and you want to consider this a long-term stock, this would be one of those things. It might not be this year, might not be next year, Might not be the year but after, but I could see this stock going back to $1,000. And that's what you do with stocks like this. When they reverse split, you keep purchasing more. And I do like this company. I believe that this company has been really entrenched in the future thing. Also with live sports and also working with YouTubers and pretty much a lot of indie artists. Netflix is actually going to be a very big thing and a good thing for a lot of new artists coming out. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has had a little downturn. It kind of had a nice little rise up here, but could this be a bull flag pattern? I don't know. When you're looking at chart, everything looks, certain patterns start looking the same, but we can see here that this right here is teetering on this 80,000, just keeps dropping. But I would say there's a huge buying, a huge people buyers in that $65,000 range. If you look at it, it could be institutions, or it could be, just some big players with deep pockets. But Bitcoin is one of those companies that I would look at. It's the future. Crypto is the future. Ethereum, again, it's been struggling. It's off its highs of 4,000. I know a lot of people that invested in Ethereum around the $4,000 mark, and now they're halfway down. You're 45, 49% down. I'm seeing this with a lot of people with Ethereum. They're pretty much down. Bitcoin, same thing. I know a lot of people who bought when it was 110, 105. They're kind of still having to wait around. So it's kind of one of those things. You see Ethereum, you see crypto. It could be the next thing, but not right now. Let's look at some other stocks. Look at PepsiCo. Again, this is another good earnings. This is a good, if you're looking for dividend, this is a good one. Pepsi's always been a good brand, and people will still buy this. One of the biggest news of the day, Nextera. Nextera Energy is purchasing Dominion Energy. This is a huge consolidation of two big companies, and this is a good thing for me. I've been talking about Nextera Energy. I believe it's the wave of the future. We need power to power up AI. We need energy, and I believe that Nextera, along with this strategic merger with Dominion, is going to be very pivotal for the energy, and it could be something that you may see other companies start just partnering up together. You almost have to look at energy almost like the airlines, kind of very similar type of industry. It kind of like you have certain ones that do well, but then you do better by partnering together. Cisco continues to rise. I mean, it's just been at that 115. It had a nice little move up. I participated in this move. I had a call option. I did a straddle on this one, so I did pretty well. I like this company right now, but I'll also see if we do have a downturn, this gap is going to get filled up. So this is one of those that I will watch, that if it comes down, this 90, 89, 87 mark could be a floor, or if it goes all the way down, you're looking at that $75 to be a floor. But again, this stock had good earnings, and it's crushing it right now. Let's look at Bitmine. Bitmine's been struggling. I mean, this company, I sold my position in this company. It was just not doing anything. And when Ethereum is not moving, this stock is just going to get hit. I love Tom Lee, but this was, sometimes you need to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And right now, I'm not saying that I'm giving up on BMNR, but I'm also just cautiously buying right now. But right now it's consolidating. It's been consolidating in that $18 range. Also, you got to look at the valuation of Bitmine. Kind of has taken a hit, but also One of the biggest things is when you have assets, and right now Ethereum is an asset. It's kind of the assets of the future, but it's still valuable. So right now its holdings is what's keeping it up. But I'm also looking at maybe adding later, but not now. Look at Amazon. Amazon again has gotten hit up a little bit. It's kind of just an inverted V right now. But I don't know with Amazon what's going on with it, but it's just gotten hit up. You start seeing Berkshire Hathaway added to their positions. There's many companies. I like Amazon. It's going to be a player for the future. Let's go to, I'm gonna do Oklo. Oklo, I'm liking these moves. Okay, Oklo would be one, like I mentioned, this $62 range. If it comes back down, I would look into that range. I like this stock. It took a real precipitous jump up, and I'm looking, this needed a breather, but we all are seeing the same thing. A lot of the AI data centers have all taken a break from being built, and we're seeing that there's a lot of slow turn. And with energy, it's a long-term play. Again, if you're a long-term investor, then this is a great buy right now, because you're buying a stock that was at the high here at 189, and it went up to, and you're getting it for 55. I mean, to me, that's buying a Louis Vuitton purse for a TJ Maxx price. And I am looking forward to the rest of the trading week, and one would have to wonder what's the rest of the trading week is going to be like. It could be many ups and downs. Like many people, we don't know what's going to happen. But one of the things that I have seen, and one of the things that I love, is that many Christians are starting to speak out. I've had a pastor who has spoken into my life for many years. But the body of Christ, the Republicans and the Democrats have made a mockery of Christianity. They've succeeded so well with pinning us against each other. I'll say that again. The Democrats and Republicans have done a great job of pinning Christians against each other. The crazy thing that some of us, I could probably put myself in that, have changed the gospel to match our political party. We want to call it the social gospel. Some call it prosperity gospel. Some call it the conscious gospel. I just preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. And that's the thing, that many of us have lost focus, that we were made for heaven. We were made for heaven. I'm homesick for a place that I've never been. I was made for heaven. Don't lose focus. No politician died on the cross for you. Not for me. Focus. Don't lose focus. And as we talk longer on this, I hope to keep you guys engaged, and we're looking forward to another week. Can't wait to just get in contact and hear some of your comments, but I love where the stock market's at. This is a great indecision day for the stock market with NVIDIA, and I'm loving that move. To me, if NVIDIA really strikes good, this is going to be a really upturn for the stock market. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope it does happen for your portfolio and mine. Talk to you next time.